全然届いてなかった。けど絶対届かねぇ距離ってわけじゃねえ。
Hey everybody, welcome to another lesson of learning Japanese. Today we are here with another anime line of the day, and this time around we're going to be taking a line straight from the show Food Wars, or in Japanese, Shokugeki no Soma. This is going to be from Season 3, the most recent season, San no Sara, and our line, as you just heard, is going to be Zenzen todoite nakatta, Kedo zenzen todokanee kyoriってわけじゃねえ. And this is going to translate to something along the lines of, I couldn't reach him at all, but he's not so far away that I'll never be able to reach him. Whoops, need to make a little side comment here. Just noticed in editing that I messed up here. Everything shown on the screen here is correct, but as I go through the line breakdown, I am going to accidentally treat the zettai as another instance of Zenzen. So just ignore that when that comes up. It's actually supposed to be zettai. So this is a pretty cool line if I do say so myself, and once we get into the breakdown and how it's working and everything, we'll see that it's actually a pretty flexible line that we can change around and use it to apply to other scenarios, just not just some scenario where you can't cook as well as this other guy. Alright, so before we do that, of course we are going to go through some vocabulary words, and luckily this time around it's going to be a pretty short vocabulary list because this is a relatively simple sentence. It's mostly grammar. Our three vocabulary words are going to start with Zenzen, which is basically an adverb that means at all. It's usually used with negative senses, so it'll be like not at all. But recently in modern Japanese, this adverb is being used with positive senses too, so it kind of can mean at all as well. Next up, we have basically the only verb that shows up in this sentence or this line, and that's going to be the word todoku, which is going to translate to basically to reach or to arrive, to get through, to get at something. And last but not least, we have the noun word kyori, which is going to translate to basically a distance or a range. So with those three words memorized now, let's look at the actual line and break it down word by word. First up, we have none other than the first vocabulary word that we covered, which is zenzen, the adverb that means at all. And right after that, amazingly enough, is our second vocabulary word, which is todoku, which means, again, to reach or to arrive at. Here, since we know that zenzen is an adverb and todoku is a verb, then we're pretty darn sure that the adverb zenzen is going to be being used with the verb todoku, so basically to reach at all. Here we'll see that it's conjugated todoku into its te form, the kind of like connective form, so it becomes todoite, and it's going to then be followed by nakatta. This is the grammar pattern that is the te form of a verb plus iru to either mean is doing that verb or has done that verb. Here we're seeing a major change from iru into nakatta instead, because that is going to be the past form of the negative form of iru. So iru turns into nai, then nai turns into nakatta. So basically combined right there, todoite nakatta is going to basically mean not reach, didn't reach. Combine that with the adverb zenzen, which is the first word, so basically didn't reach at all. That is actually going to be the end of our first sentence in this line. It's amazingly enough only basically three words, an adverb, a verb, or basically that's two words, an adverb and a verb. Moving on into our second sentence of the line, the final one, it's going to have a decent amount more. It's going to start off with kedo, which is just going to translate to basically but. It's the conjunction but here it's being used at the beginning of a sentence as opposed to connecting a sentence, two sentences, two clauses or whatever. And look at this, amusingly enough, we have the repeat of zenzen and todoku. So once again, zenzen is going to mean at all. We have todoku in its negative nai form this time around. That's going to be todokanee, and then it's going to actually be made into a more casual form of that because this is an anime, so we changed the nai into ne, so todokanee is going to be the more casual form of that, and that is going to be modifying a noun. So the zenzen todokanee is going to be basically a clause that's modifying a noun that appears right after it, which is going to be our third vocabulary word, kyori. So zenzen todokanee kyori is going to be basically a distance that I can't reach at all, basically. We are going to be marking that distance that we can't reach at all, I can't reach at all, zenzen todokanee kyori, with the te, which is basically kind of a quoting particle. Here it's kind of serving it as more of a topic marker. And last but not least, we're going to now end the sentence and line with wake jyanee, and this is going to be the grammar pattern that is wake. The wake grammar pattern is pretty complex. A really brief explanation is just saying it's saying how things are. This is how it is. And here we see the jyanee, which is basically going to mean that it's being used in the the negative form. So janai is the negative. We're going to casualize it with the changing the nai to ne again. So wake jyanee is going to be basically it's not like this. Plug that in with the rest of the sentence, and the literal translation will be something like it's not like the distance is one that I can't reach at all, or I won't be able to reach at all. Kedo zenzen届かねぇ距離ってわけじゃねぇ。
けど絶対届かねぇ距離ってわけじゃねえ。
Okay, so that's just gonna wrap up the whole line. Let's combine the sentences that we covered and review it in totality. Zenzen todoite nakatta. I couldn't reach him at all. Kedo zenzen todoka ne kyoriってわけじゃねえ. But he's not so far away that I'll never be able to reach him. That's kind of the naturalized sentence that we went with in consideration to the context of the show. How this is specifically about the other character he's cooking against. If you actually look at the Japanese, you'll see here that we don't really have any subjects, or we don't explicitly say what we're talking about, what we want to reach. So this is a pretty general wording in terms of the Japanese here. Okay, so that's actually gonna wrap up this lesson. Let's just go over the grammar patterns that we had to cover to grasp this line for the sake of memorizing legitimate Japanese grammar and not just stuff from anime. We have the te form of a verb plus the iru to mean is doing that verb or has done that verb. Here we're also making it into the negative nai form as well as the casual past form. After that we have the conjunction kedo. Once again we have the negative nai form, casualizing it into the ne instead of nai. We're modifying a noun here with a clause with the zenzen todokanee kyori. We have the quoting particle basically with the hard te there. And then we have the grammar pattern that is the wake grammar pattern that basically means it's like something.
ああ、全然届いてなかった。けど絶対届かねえ距離ってわけじゃねえ。次は必ずあの頂に辿り着く。
Alright, that's gonna wrap it up for this episode of Anime Line of the Day. Remember, if there were grammar patterns mentioned for this line, they'll be mentioned in the description or the pinned comment below with links to the individual lessons on them. You can also probably find them in the playlist of our complete grammar video series shown on the screen right here alongside our anime playlist. And last but not least, don't forget to try to translate the bonus line we provided. Leave your translation in a comment below. Check out our Patreon, like the video, and subscribe. With all that said and done, see you next time.